Good morning and welcome to Magical Monday Musing. And we're now in our monthly format, and this is the month of June. So this will be our monthly musing for June 1st, going through the entire month. And I welcome you back to our musings and our new format. And I hope you all did well with last week's work that we did with pentacles and stones and the number 7, the energy of healing. I wonder if you were like me and could really see throughout the week the ways that the card was playing out in your life, and actually knowing, like in a moment of interaction, that that card was working through you. For example, I had the feeling of almost like it was perched on my shoulder this week, and feeling all of the ways in which healing could be worked into a situation, whether it was for myself or working with another person or the land itself, environment, groups of people. I felt a really useful, and I really took advantage of working with it in a lot of different ways, with some personal healing and doing extra healing sessions with myself to do some things that were important to me. So I hope it was a great week for you as well, and that you were able to really have some time with either the green women or your allies or teachers in spirit, or maybe there were some human or two-legged or slithering or four-legged creatures that were winged with you and assisting you as well. So for this month, we are going to be working with a different energy, one that I believe we have worked with before, and one that I think is a great, as far as a new beginning of how we're working together. It is a great card for us to work with, and working with it for the entire month. Whether you choose to tune back in, maybe the first, just on Mondays, come back to this and listen to it to refresh yourself, and maybe do the reading that accompanies the video again, just to reboot yourself each week. But I think that this theme is a great one going through the summer, and it's a great one to choose for the first of the month too. We're going to be working with the archetypes and the card suits of cups and vessels. So why don't we do our meditation, get ourselves into sacred space and into the right mental and spiritual headset to plunge in and to see what the cards and the energies have to offer us for this month of June. Okay, so I invite you to sit back and relax, or to recline in whatever position is most comfortable for you. And as always, taking 3 deep breaths in and out at your own pace. And each time we visit, we always remember that the breath is a tool to anchor us into our physical being with awareness and presence. Noticing where you feel the body move, whether it's the lungs or the abdomen, or maybe you feel the breath as it moves in and out of the nostrils. Letting the breath be a companion, and let it allow you to settle in to your body a little bit more with each breath that you take. As we create this sacred space together, you can enhance the process by releasing any thoughts, any worries or tensions that you may have at this time, whether they were carried over from last night or things that are ongoing that might be troubling you just for this time that we share together. I encourage you to just let them go. Letting the cells of the body be bathed in oxygen from the breath, alivening and awakening, allowing the breath to bring a greater focus to your work today. Opening to a new month of possibility and opportunity, and the month that contains the celebration of the summer solstice, the true beginning of summer, to many of our ancestors who celebrated on that day. Welcoming in brighter, lighter, longer days of warmth and time to play, relax, change our routines to invite in more recreation and enjoyment of the outside world and of activities that are ones that we can engage in only in the warm weather, the summer. So as we open ourselves to the possibilities of the month of June and the cards that we'll work with, let us also invite in the grounded presence of Mother Earth, that she would support us this month and be the ground under our feet that will help us to be stable and steady in our work. Inviting in the middle and the lower and the upper worlds and all of our spirit companions and allies, whether they be plant, animal, or spirit teacher, companions, helpers. Inviting in our ancestors, loved ones, and friends in spirit who can contribute in a positive way. Inviting in the angelic realms, the ascended master teachers, light beings, the sky and star beings. And of course, we invite in the four elements and directions of north and earth and east and air, south and fire, and west and water. And of course, our invocation wouldn't be complete without inviting in our own higher wisdom, and also the wisdom that's going to guide us this month from the cards and the archetypes themselves, from our Wildwood and Rider-Waite Tarot decks. So set your intention for what you'd like to do this month with your spiritual path. If there are some aspects that you want to focus on this month, go ahead and set your intentions on those now. And with one more deep breath, allow yourself to come back to this moment of time and open your eyes when you feel ready. So mote it be. Okay, so this month we're going to be working with the energies of the Cups suit and the Vessels suit. And we are working with the Ace. So Ace of Cups and the Ace of Vessels, which is the waters of life in our Wildwood Tarot deck. So the Aces represent the beginning or the first of the suit. In all cases, in the Rider-Waite deck, you'll see a hand that is a hand in, I believe, clouds, that is part of each portrait, if you will, of the Rider-Waite cards. And so we're talking about higher power, divine assistance in our lives and how that plays out. And the cloud being sort of that veil that if we were to have that hand, which symbolizes the divine, that it would be almost as if it would overpower us or be too much. So we have that veil of the clouds to be sort of our moderator, to let it, in our humanness, be what it needs to be, what we could tolerate or handle or assimilate. So the cups, as you know, it's having to do with the waters of emotions, and the cup itself, or the word vessel, represents just that, a container. So we're dealing with symbology of the divine feminine, because the divine feminine, of course, is the vessel or the cup or the carrier. I remember in Shiatsu we learned about the mountain and the valley, and the valley being the feminine as well. So, you think of those kinds of metaphors when you think about the divine feminine or feminine symbology. So we're dealing with the ace, so the energy of the beginning of a journey, dealing with working with the divine in a way that accompanies whatever the sort of personality the suit is, and with the cups we're dealing with the emotions. So this month we're going to be working in terms of our emotions in relationship with others. So the way the card is going to be useful and helpful and stimulate us and show up for us this month is in relationships, our emotions in relationship, emotionally how we are with others in relationship. And the thing that's really wonderful about it is the point of working with this card this month is to enhance and to see things in a new light. It is to be able to work in concert with the divine and our emotions to create either shifts in our current relationships or to help us to shift when we are relating to others, so that we can see things differently, or we can literally show up a little differently, or be willing to move like those waters in relationship, and be not overcome, which is another aspect of the aces, not overcome with emotion or not at the effect of it or feeling victim or prey to it, but to be able to harness and to be aware, and with that then be able to achieve positive experiences with others in relationship. So, the shadow side, or the aspects where if we are feeling out of alignment in relationship, of course, that will then come up to be dealt with, because we know when we work spiritually, we're dealing with both aspects of ourselves, or the totality, you could say, of ourselves, which are the shadow aspects and those also aspects that are aligned and working in favor with our divinity or with our deeper wisdom. So you can expect to have that be brought up onto your table this month. You can expect to perhaps be challenged in a positive way about enhancing relationship with those in your life, whatever relationship it might be, because it'll go across the board, whether it's familial, whether it's a partner, whether it's in a work situation or a social situation. So it'll be across the board that you can expect at least opportunities to engage from that emotional place, rather than just strictly the egoic place, being able to partner with your sense of your own divine wisdom and emotions to create different ways of being in relationship and working with other people. So for some of you, this will be something that feels very easy and natural already. And for others of you, it may feel like a gasp, like, uh-oh, here we go. I'm being called out to sharpen my relationship tools, and this is a month that's going to put me to task on maybe places where I might feel not as strong as I would like to. And so know that you may be able to anticipate some of this from the get-go, or conversely, a day may appear before you, and as you go through the day, you just sort of spontaneously get surprised with an interaction in which you need to do something with, and you'll remember this card and remember, oh right, ace, and oh right, dealing with water, dealing with vessels, dealing with cups, and then you might be able to, in that moment of remembering that, do something differently this time, because you have that, you can tap into that resource, that spiritual and energetic resource, and do some shifting for yourself. And just me switching now into intuitive mode for you, I do feel that there are some of our community that are definitely going to be, I am seeing a staircase, like making progress, like it literally, like you feel like you're going up a staircase of achievement and creating a greater sense of mastery for yourself with people who have been challenging for you, or who you are in a contentious or maybe even combative kind of relationship currently. And so you'll have the opportunity to take some space in the moment. I feel like you might get a challenge, or you might have a conflict that maybe is either you see it coming like a storm cloud, or it just kind of erupts like a storm. and you'll be able to say, oh no, I am not going there. I'm going to use the benefit of the Ace of Cups or the Ace of Vessels, and I'm going to couple with my divine energy, which will be your awareness of what's going on, and not just to dive into that storm. Pull back, hold your space, and then you come from a place of claiming and standing rooted, in your consciousness, in your awareness, and then a different outcome is what you will dictate by the way that you hold the space and orient yourself. And then I feel like that is going to create a memory literally within the cells of your body, so that it's oftentimes we learn things in our body too, not just the gray matter, literally the physical body remembers the feeling of that sense of either conquering or achievement, or that'll be like your reference point going forward when something might come up again. So for some of you, that's going to be a really great achievement this month, that you're really going to feel good that you were able to give yourself. So I'm happy to be able to deliver that message to those of you that have been almost plagued by challenge and the sense of almost like dissension in relationship, and you're going to be able to make some shifts with that. I feel it's raining outside today as we're shooting this, and I'm having a sense of some of you are going to be feeling watery, like weepy and emotional in a way that is not to be withheld or blocked in any way. It just wants to come through you. So for some of you, I feel like there's going to be some tears shed this month. And it may not even have a rhyme or reason. You just may be feeling full of emotion and just need to let that come out. And so the suit does contain water, does represent water, and its many forms and symbolic meanings. For some of us, that'll be getting into the water, the summer of literally getting into the ocean or the lake or the river, and merging with water that way, like that, the inner mermaid or merman, is going to want some attention too. So you can let that playful side of yourself come out and merge with water in that way. I'm also being told to literally remind our community to make sure we are also being well hydrated and drinking a lot this summer, because, this month anyway, because it is a time where it's easy to get dehydrated, but it also is connecting you with the water of this suit through ingesting it. So I'm being told to literally say that to us. For some of us, there's that analogy of, is your cup, two things. Is your cup half full or half empty? So part of the work of this suit is seeing things in a new light. And so for those of us that, tend to look at the half empty, this is an opportunity to work with water in that vessel and seeing it as the image shows up in both cards. You see a vessel that's overflowing with water, or that it's pouring water. So some of the symbology for that is to know that the divine is always overflowing for us. It's some of us will be challenged with our belief systems around scarcity, but yet there's this divine flow that's always available to us. And if you look at the pictures on the cards this week, and the week after, and the week after, if you don't have the cards in your possession, then come back to the video or to the email that I send out to you, so you can have that visual, or, as I often suggest, just print it out and have it in your journal, so you can refer back if you might be feeling that sense of scarcity or not enough, or I want more. Feel your well being filled. Feel your vessel feeling like it's full to overflowing with the cards this month. And so you can really remind yourself of that. Oftentimes in the summer, we are reminded with visuals of natural opulence and abundance. We've got flowers blooming everywhere, bees buzzing, birds singing, fantastic, luscious sense of these gorgeous blooming flowers as we walk, drive, run, bike, swim, whatever. We have the smells of the ocean or of any number of things that just greet us with this wonderful sense of possibility and delight that only comes this time of year. So to take in that abundance of how you can be sensually aware and to remind yourself of just this cornucopia of sensual delight that is available to you, and how maybe you'll have memories or feelings, nostalgia of summers gone by that might feel enjoyable to engage in. So there's not, never is a card only about the challenges. It's also about the rewards, the beauty, the grace, the abundance, all of the joys. And this card does have, does speak to the joys of being alive and remembering the bounty around us and to engage in it, which should not be hard for us this month. We might forget. Sometimes I call it, when I go there, like diving down the rabbit hole or falling off the cliff into emotions that can carry us away. But, we are surrounded really pretty much wherever we live, unless it's the southern hemisphere. And then, there's the beauty of that winter landscape to be able to receive the abundance of whatever that might be to you, stillness, tranquility. But for us here in the northern hemisphere, we're most certainly dealing with the pleasures of the warm weather and the season. So take part of that in whatever ways that feel appropriate to you, and remind yourself daily to drink that in, literally, the waters of life. I want to see if there's anything else before we close for the month. So for some of you, the last thing I want to say is I feel as though there will be, something that does happen from time to time is a dredging up of the old. It's almost like, from time to time we have to clear things out. And for some of you, I'm thinking about canals, man-made canals, where every now and then they have to dredge out what the sediments down below to keep the canal running properly and to have it deep enough for the boats that need to come through. And I feel like for some of you, you may be looking at that level of work where you've got to really dredge out and make space and clear out so that these wonderful waters of life can flow through you and back into your life in ways that are really going to make you feel that sense of abundance and wonder and possibility of working with the aces, of working with the cups and the vessels. So embrace that as much as you can. Sometimes we want to stave off that kind of work and put it off, for another day. But I'm being encouraged to tell you to literally dive in and see what can happen for you with the benefit of these cards to create a different outcome for you than you might be perceiving, and maybe one that will literally surprise you. So I also want to say to those of you before we close who want to continue to get musings more frequently than once a month, you can certainly do that. As I mentioned last week in our last musing for May, that you can receive a personalized audio musing at the frequency of your choice. It can be a one-off, or if you feel like you want to get one every week, or if you want to get one, so that you get information twice a month, maybe once through this beginning of the month video, and then maybe an audio to complement that a couple or 2 or 3 weeks into the month. You can do that. You just contact me and we will set it up and arrange it, and I create an audio file for you. We'll pick up a personalized card for you and give you the audio intuitive read on that. And those are $30. And I've also had a member of our community suggest maybe doing a paid subscription. For those of you that might like to get in regular musings via video and do that maybe a couple times a month or what have you. So I'm chewing on that. If anyone is interested in a format like that, do let me know, because if we do have some interest, then maybe we can do something like that for you too. So know that I'll be back with you again here in this form for our July musing, the first Monday of July. And so until then, I hope you have a wonderful summer solstice. I hope that you have plenty of opportunities to integrate and work with the energies of the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Vessels and all that it represents for you. And I wish you many blessings and, of course, a magical and powerful month. So until next month, next July, first week of July, first Monday, blessed be, friends.